What is up, nerds? I am Witty Ball and I'm on the road to Los Angeles, California. Now, I'm on my way there to California because I'm originally from there, and it's nice to check out the local spots, check out the nerd sections, the video games, the manga, the DVDs, all the card game shops. I used to go there frequently. Fortunately, I didn't get a lot of footage because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm kind of nervous when recording in public because I feel like I get some judgmental eyes. But as time goes on, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be better at it. And this is my first vlogging video, so it's probably gonna be really cringy. So please bear with that. Now, halfway through my trip, I made a quick stop to Flagstaff. And Flagstaff is north of Phoenix, Arizona, and there's a store that I really like to check out from time to time called Bookman's. So here I am at the Flagstaff location, and if you don't know what Bookman's is, it's essentially just a secondhand store, if you will, that sells from books all the way down to electronics. They sell stuff like records, CDs, DVDs, of course books, video games, and it just goes on and on and on. And I love this store so much, but unfortunately they didn't really have a big selection of video games. You can see here that it's just a small section in the middle, and unfortunately I didn't buy any. Nothing really caught my eye, but it was nice to check out. Here's some glass cases of their Switch games and Vita games. And here on this side right here, they got some Game Boy games and some other retro games that I don't collect for, unfortunately. They got some classic mugs over here, some retro mugs, alongside with these cables for your N64. These are all the N64 games that they had. And now you're starting to see why I wasn't a huge fan of this section, because it's just in the middle of the store, like a very small section of it. And you can see here with these PS1 games that they didn't have a huge section. So it is unfortunate that I didn't see anything that caught my eye. So we're gonna head back on the road and continue our trip. It's gonna be a long trip ahead, and once I get there, we're gonna see what we can get. Well, here I am, day one in California. And I guess I was super excited this day one because I woke up supremely early. I'm talking like 7:30 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. Usually the local nerd shops were not open until like 10, 11, even 12 in like around noon. And so I just decided to go for a drive and just hit some of the local spots that I used to go to. And one of those local spots was actually Redondo Beach. If you haven't been to Redondo Beach, it's a really nice beach. They got a really nice big pier that I like to go to. It's actually a perfect place to go for a morning walk, and that's what I did. Here I am just walking around, and you get a nice view of the ocean. You get that nice ocean breeze, and it was really nice. Now, what tripped me up the most was it's actually a pretty popular spot to go fishing at around this time. I didn't know that. I saw all these fishers just doing their thing, and I thought fishing didn't start until like later in the afternoon. But I guess I was wrong, because it's just a bunch of fishermen lined up against the railing on my left side. And I didn't even think you can catch anything since it's right next to the beach. I just thought maybe this was just a hangout spot, but no, I was really wrong. So this was this was something here. And yeah, I just continued on my morning walk. Now, before we continue our nerd hunt, there's actually one more spot that I want to at least pay my respects to, and that used to be the arcade that used to be here. As you can see, there's a bit of construction going on here. That used to be where the arcade used to be. And I remember coming here a lot of the times as a kid. It was very nostalgic to me. It was really big. You can see that there used to be a carousel here. And towards the back, that's where they handed out the prizes. Now, realistically, I'm gonna be honest with you, this place was mediocre at best, but it was very nostalgic for me, and I do miss it. I heard that the lease was expired and they couldn't renew it, something like that, but we'll see what happens there. Now, that's enough for this today. Let's just go ahead and jump into nerd hunting. Now, the first place I wanted to check out was Del Amo Mall. This mall is really close to Redondo Beach, so that's a plus side. Plus, this is actually one of my favorite malls of all time. I used to come here every time I had the opportunity to. If it was like at least once a week. That was it. Once a week for me, and I loved coming here. But the bad news is, you ever seen a mall with its power out? Well, here it is. The mall had its power out, and it was really weird because I got there around the opening time, which was 11 o'clock. So I just thought they were, being slow, taking their time to, get the stores running. I mean, but no, it was just all around power out, and I stayed there at that mall for about an hour before I headed out, which was a bummer because I wanted to check out this book off here, but another time then. In the meantime, further down the road from the mall was this video game store called Retro Games Plus, and I walked in, and immediately towards my right there was just like these empty cases. As you can see here, further down from there was like a lot of Switch games. Now over here, right next to the entrance, you have a wall of just arcade cabinets. I remember coming here a few years ago, but I don't remember seeing these here. You have your Funko Pops. Little bit of controversial take from me here. I despise Funko Pops. You will never see me collect a Funko Pop. And yeah, that's my controversial take of the week, I guess. I just despise them. Here we are in the PlayStation 3 section. They have all kinds of PlayStation 3 games, but to be fair, the majority of them are duplicates. I remember growing up with Modern Warfare 2 right here. I used to play that game a lot. I was like a tweaker. Not a tweaker, what was it? A squeaker. I meant a squeaker. Don't take that out of context. But yeah, I used to be a squeaker back in the day. And yeah, I remember playing that game 24/7. Yeah, here they are with their game cases, little game cabinets. You got the Nintendo section. Right here, you got the Xboxes at the bottom right here. And yeah, they had like a pretty good selection here. For the GameCube, it was a little bit too much for me. Yeah, I'm looking at that Pokemon XD worth about like 200, and I just looked the other way immediately because that was obviously way too much for me. Now, right next to the GameCube glass case is the PlayStation glass case, I like to call it. And as you can see here on top is the Silent Hill games 2 and 4. You got Lollipop Chainsaw right there for the PS3, and the PS4 games here at the bottom. And I didn't see anything that caught my attention. I mean, some did, but it wasn't enough for me to get an employee to open the case for me. Yeah, just all these PlayStation games right here. I was really looking at that Dark Souls for a minute, but I decided not to get it because I've only ever played the third one, and that was enough for me, so let's move on from here. Now, I do feel bad because I forgot to record the front of the store, but I will tell you that they had some really cool stuff like Japanese imported games. They had some consoles that were hanging against the wall behind the counter. Some card games too that I wanted to check out, but I just didn't have the time. But if you're ever in the area, please do check out the store. It's Games Retro Plus. You can find it on Torrance, California on Hawthorne. Now we're going to check out a couple more stores before I call it a day. And one of those stores is called Cali Games. And Cali Games is pretty much the biggest video game store, if I'm not mistaken, in all of Southern California. And I walk in there and it's lined up with all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to lie. As you can see here, they have a bunch of PSP consoles right here, little handhelds, alongside with 3DSs and DS handhelds. And towards the bottom right here in the middle section, they have all the Game Boys and Game Boy Advances. Be sure to check them out on Instagram here for any updates and follow-ups. Here they have their GameCube game right here. These are like the rare kind of GameCube games. I think these might be the rare ones. I'm not entirely sure. They'd like to move some stuff around a lot. And as you can see here towards the top, they have more of the collector's editions of video games. And in their glass cases, they have figurines. Now, isn't that something? That's pretty cool. Last time I was here, I don't think they did that. But that's pretty cool, broaden your, inventory. And you got some more little figurines right here. All cool stuff right here. I used to be a huge collector of figurines, but you know, I was collecting a lot of different stuff like manga and video games alongside of figurines. I think I had to give up one, and I think figurines got the short end of the stick on this one. So now they had like a dedicated section for Xbox games, the original Xbox. I remember this had its own section in the middle of the store, but I guess since, you know, the PlayStation 5 and PS4 360 were expanding their inventory, they needed to move this, and that's what they did. They moved it here. Now here's the aisle with the PS4 and PS5 games, and they just have rows and rows of all kinds of games from PS5 all the way down to the Wii section. Towards the back of the store, they have a Nintendo Switch section that's just all dedicated to Nintendo Switch games. All kinds of games are on that shelf that I've never even heard of. And yeah, we're gonna see that pretty much soon. And here you have the PS2 games. There's actually another PS2 section on the other side of this rack that goes all the way to pretty much Yakuza 1 and 2 for the PlayStation 2, which I think that's very cool. And we're gonna walk over here and we're gonna see more, a little bit of Xbox, but really the artwork that they have hanging up really interests me. But I'm not a collector on these because it's just another thing I need to collect, and I already have enough things going on with collections. And here I am in the PS3 section, and I don't really collect for PS3. I should, because I know it's going to go up in value, but there's just like not a lot of games that interest me, because when I collect a game, I collect to play. I think that's the whole point of video games. You collect to play them, but that's just me. And here I am with the Xbox 360. Unfortunately, a console that I never got into, the Xbox games and just the consoles, the original 360, you know, and stuff like that. And when I said there was a wall of Switch games, I meant there was a wall of Switch games. And you're about to see a copy of Shantae and the Pirate's Curse worth of $350, which is really expensive, but thankfully I got the collector's edition when Limited Run did it, so I got it relatively cheaper. So that's enough shopping here. We're gonna go ahead and jump onto the next store, which is another Book Off. Now this Book Off is located in Lakewood Mall in, you guessed it, Lakewood, California. And you can see here that I'm doing my own little shopping here. You can see a long row of PS4 games, Switch games, and just games all around. I think this one was better than the Book Off that I normally go to, but I couldn't go there anyways because the power was out. I did eventually check that place out when the power came back on, but I didn't feel like recording it because it was so packed in there, and I didn't want to cause like a hazard, so I just didn't record it. So my apologies for that Book Off. And you can see here with the glass case, they have all kinds of like retro, old school consoles going on here. They got more of the collector's editions on this side. They got Persona 5 Royal, which I did get, but it's not what you think. I'll save that for the end. That's a little bit of a tease. That's going to be it for this video, honestly. I do have another part 2. It's going to be a shorter part of the video because it's going to be a huge shout out to a certain store that pretty much was just a hangout spot for me. I really like that store. So you'll pretty much know who it is in the next video once I introduce them. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.